Hip hop, graffiti, it was about the youth. Since I can remember being a teenager, writing letters and alphabets and different styles has always been one of the things that I did. Graffiti gave me permission to do something that the classrooms didn't give me permission to do. With graffiti, there were no rules. It was as big as you can go, it was as colorful as you can go, as hard as you can go. So it kind of gave me space to really look at what my potential is and how far I can take it. When we sit down with a senior and they say a word, what actually happens is I go through this database of styles that either have been dormant or I've been using recently. And I kind of look at the individual, I think about the word they want and the colors, and it kind of works out that something comes up that is right for them and right for that word and position on their body. So working with the seniors, using graffiti art, the lettering, it's all about the lettering with graffiti. You know, murals are beautiful, but what made graffiti graffiti were the names.
The 100 Words of Wisdom project, we love to say 100 wow exhibit, because it's a wow experience. It came about with my grandmother and Evan, who is the body artist. He asked a question: what would you tell my grandchildren with just one word? My grandmother thought about it, she came up with the word focus. And this word is something she held dear to her heart throughout her life, and it helped her through the good times, the bad times. Every experience that she's had, she's always focused.
The idea of painting graffiti or body art on seniors came from 4 years of trial and error. Katori and myself, we have put in the work throughout the city at different events doing body art. And what we notice is that when people are given the permission, the rules of engagement with their body, what they want, where they want it, what color they want, it becomes theirs, as opposed to me just sitting there and painting what I feel they should have.
When we started to do it, it really turned into something bigger than we were. It's an actual really great experience to sit down and ask questions and hear the stories about people who, if you looked at them, you would never know that they used to pick cotton. And I am learning so much, and Evan and I are learning so much. It's like, oh my goodness, we have to share this with the rest of the world because it's so inspiring.
The catalyst of this whole project was to get wisdom for our grandchildren. So from the very start, there was always that intergenerational focus. I think it's really helping a younger generation pay attention to seniors that are around them all the time. And they walk past them and they ignore them and they're so caught up in their world. But when you see a senior with some body art, you know, it's like, is that a tattoo? Did it hurt? And you know, any questions that come up, it opens the door for some dialogue. You know, when you see your grandmother with some body art on her and it says a word that you may not either understand or you take for granted, the questions come, well, why did you choose that word?
We really wanted young people to be a part of this experience by having them interview and also body paint the seniors themselves. We both feel that social interaction is so important between the youth and seniors, and this is one way that they can do it. And I think that when you have that bond between the seniors and the youth, something magical happens.
We can't change the world with a song, but as we change the world, come on, let's see it. Politics, politics, it ain't safe, we all in it. Get money, get power, get arrested for the color bitch, smarter kids. And when the street beat politics, watch the street beat politics, make it move so we all in this. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Now let it go. Politics is good to 15 for feeding your family. From where I'm from, I know you understand. Politics got my stomach ground.
It's important that seniors and young people talk to each other because they both have different perspectives. Like, elders talk to us about what happened back in their day and how it's affecting now, and young people could talk to them about what's happening now and how it might relate to the past. So we both have two different sides of what is going on. Like, we can both relate to each other because a lot of stuff that did happen in the past is coming back now in the present. So we would have a lot in common to talk about.
I'd say There was a lot of elders there who wanted to spread wisdom to the youth and in fact performed and kind of impacted the elders because the youth can teach elders stuff that's happening now.
So it was exciting to be in the middle of an event that brings young people who feel like their voices aren't heard and elders who may feel like their voices aren't heard together so that they can hear each other and almost do it without even talking. So people say, you know, that God gave us one mouth and two ears for a reason, so we could do more listening than talking. And it seems like this is really giving people the opportunity to do just that, to listen.
I want the youth to really come to this exhibit. Just if they're curious just to see the artwork, if that's something that they would like to do, but come with an open mind, come to learn, come to experience, and to know that age ain't nothing but a number.
There's stories to tell, and there's young people who need to hear them. And while we must embrace technology and engage with it, there's something that's missing if the singers are not involved. So 100 Words of Wisdom, the vision, the mission is to make sure that we find spaces to put singers back into the conversation as we move forward as a society.
What change would you make with our youth?
I would like to continue the investment in our young people by sharing the history, the experiences that we've had, and to work with them to become leaders and ambassadors of this community. This is what Jamal and I strive to do. We want to make them activists, we want to make them ambassadors, and we clearly want them to be leaders so that the next generation can continue the work that we inherited from our former generations.
This is by far, as an artist, I've been an artist since I was 4 years old, and this alignment of passion and purpose, this is the greatest alignment I've experienced. I think that out of all the projects that I've done as an artist, this one has had the most meaning, and I can see it go further than any other painting that I've ever painted before in my life. So I'm here to serve. I'm here to make sure that my body art is adorned on many singers for years to come.
I can describe it in 3 words. Words of wisdom.